Wisdom is thinking through the knowledge acquired in order to discover how it applies to what you are doing. Ooh. I wish you know how costly wisdom is. Oh. Wisdom is the most costly virtue of all virtues in the kingdom. You want me to show you how costly it is? Let's read from Job 28. And then you see the rating of wisdom in terms of its cost. In terms of its cost. Now, talking about wisdom, he said, but where shall wisdom be found? Verse 12. Job 28, verse 12. And where is the place of understanding? Man knoweth not the price thereof. Hello? So it carries a price. Neither is it found in the land of the living as a treasure. You know, you can dig out gold, you can dig out diamond, but you can't dig out wisdom from the earth. He binded the flood. Now he went on and said, the deep said, it is not with me. The sea said, it is not with me. It cannot be gotten for gold. Neither shall silver be weighed for the price thereof. It cannot be valued with the gold of Ophir, and the precious onyx or the sapphire. The gold and the crystal shall not equal it, and the exchange of it shall not be for pure gold. No mention shall be made of coral or of pearls, for the price of wisdom is above rubies. I'll stop there, verse 18. It's a most costly virtue because its treasure is most valuable. That's why it should not be mistaken for common sense. It's a quiet sense. It's a most costly virtue. That's why people pass by without being able to buy it. Now, maybe this example may help you. I had a call to ministry with a background in architecture. I would be stupid to go into ministry with an architecture mind. I'll be punctured. They are world apart. They don't have any bearing together. So if I'm called to ministry and I don't want to mess up, then I must go for what I consider will help me to measure up. So I selected 39 biographies of great ministries to study. How many? 39. It's no yoke. I mean, 39 selected biographies of great ministries that I could lay my hands on. I went into them like someone researching for a PhD program. By the time I stepped into full-time ministry, I was 39 years older than my peers. Because I've borrowed 39 different senses from 39 great minds to see where they made mistakes so I will not repeat it, where they made great marks so I could follow their steps. And so that enhanced the quality of my decision-making processes all through the work. We've never borrowed in our ministry for anything. Those great minds schooled me into management of ministry affairs. From their stories, I found their secrets. Hello. I never came into ministry with common sense. I came in with acquired sense and a commitment to apply them as they apply in the various stages of my assignment. So we don't talk of wisdom without talking of being studious. It is your studious engagement that empowers you to walk in wisdom. Because wisdom is not thinking of what you think is right, but what is proven to be right. Come and say proven. You know, the quality of your academic paper is a function of the quality of your references, isn't it? Nobody will agree you are thinking, except to tell us how others have thought in the same school. So the quality of your life is essentially a quality of your references. It's a function of the quality of your references. I've never sat with Billy Graham in my life. It will be my great privilege to have such opportunity, but I've never had it. But I know much more about this man than those who are working for him. At least I've read about 4 of his biographies. So I can tell his story, his wife's story, and everything. What he saw in ministry, how he made up, how he came out of challenges, how he handled them. Wisdom is not a cheap commodity. Somebody hearing what I'm talking about? Now, if ministry were only preaching, I would be the most relaxed human being in the world. I'm relaxed, yes, but with plenty of responsibility. That's why I have come to conclude by my opportune access to the secrets of many great lives that every leader is a reader, and every committed reader is a potential leader. Every leader is a reader, because it's the engagement of the senses of others that makes him to make sense. That's why I've also propounded that every leader is a learner, and every committed learner is a potential leader. Abraham Lincoln said, I don't think much of a man who is not wiser today than he was yesterday. Henry Ford said, when you stop learning, you are old, whether at 20 or at 80. And when you keep learning, you are young, whether at 80 or at 20. He said the best thing to do is to keep your mind young. And through the art of learning, or a commitment to a lifelong learning. I walked into the office of Kenneth Hagin, 1997, and then here he was, reading the book of T.L. Osborne. Reading. After writing all those books in his life, he was reading another author, 1997. He wasn't reading to post to us, because he was clearly our source of blessings and resources. But that was the book he was reading, 1997. 1997. Today you can find a lot of Christian books without references. There is no academic book of worth without cross references. If it doesn't have it, it doesn't hold water. So most of the things people propound don't have, they are not proven. They are mere hypotheses. They are not proven. So it's wisdom is not a cheap commodity. Always remind yourself of Job 28, 12 to 18. It's not a cheap commodity. It's the costliest treasure in all the world. Because it demands your time, it demands your energy, it demands your resources. I was away in America sometimes and I bought books worth $9,600 at the time. And when I got home, my wife said, "What did you bring?" I said, "Come see." So I invited her to my library and I opened the first box, books down. From the second one, books. I said, "What else?" I said, "That's all else." And then I humorously said, "You see, the content of these books can easily make me a manufacturer of the things I will have bought if I could understand them." Hello? That is sense of value. Your sense of value for knowledge is a great determinant of your leadership future. I will never buy a piece of suit in my life, 9,000. What will I do with it? I mean, who is looking at me? No need that. But if I buy books of 20,000 pounds, I feel good. I've said across nations, and Pastor Alba was in 2 or 3 of those nations, that you are either building a library or you are building a mortuary without knowing. Come on now. You are either building a library or you are building a mortuary without knowing. There are many mortuary builders today. They do not. There are people who have graduated from college, have never read any single literature in their life since they left. They just go to work and come back from work and watch TV and go to work, come back from work, watch TV and go to work. Great leaders end up as peasant workers because they cannot pay the price of what makes a leader. Please note from here, wisdom is not a cheap commodity. It's the costliest commodity, but of greatest value. The costliest commodity and of greatest value. Let me share with you the story of 2 great people that have inspired me a lot. The one of them is Benjamin Franklin. Benjamin Franklin had only 2 years formal education. How many years? 2 years. Only 2 years formal education. And this young man was an apprentice in a printing shop. And so in those days, they used to give them money for food. This is your lunch money, go and eat. He would save the money for lunch today, lunch tomorrow, until it's enough to buy a book he has seen. So he would go fasting for knowledge. Fasting for what? So he was doing without lunch to buy books. Is that cheap? And suddenly, the lion in him began to rise. Today, Benjamin Franklin is a great name in American history. Benjamin Franklin founded the University of Pennsylvania, which is still rated number 15th university in the world as a 2008 rating. It was founded 1786. Benjamin Franklin developed himself to become a scientist. He founded the thunder arrestor science, engineering. He invented it. Thunder was killing people for free. He sat down and found a way of tapping that energy and earthing it. 2 years from education. You know how many years you have gone to school in your life?